When people think about retro video game collecting, they think about all the expensive and rare video games, sealed grails, and graded retro treasures. We built the world's best cheap retro Nintendo video game collection.
And this is the finale.
We're on our way to pick up the last game that was requested by our viewers, and we asked everybody to comment and input the game that they vote as the 50th. We got a lot of votes. We appreciate everyone making their comments, and the winner was actually real obvious. There was one game that was recommended so much more than every other game, so we're on our way to pick one up now in hopes that GameStop has one.
Hopefully it's there.
Yeah. We looked up the top 100 highest rated video games on every Nintendo console. And we picked out the top 10 on each one that cost $20 or less. All right, we'll take it.
Yeah, sure.
This is our Nintendo Quest. Through this quest, it's been 15 episodes, and we've learned a lot, both good and bad. Played a lot of games.
Yes.
And we wanted to go through some of the highlights and lowlights and kind of share those with you since it's been a fun journey. To celebrate the Nintendo Quest finale, we'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button. And also, we're getting even closer to 100,000 subscribers, so if you would subscribe to our channel, that would be great as well. Thank you so much. Well, I've never played this on Wii U before. Definitely played it on Switch though. First of all, what is the favorite game amongst those that we picked up? Your favorite game?
Well, it's tough. There wasn't very many RPGs on this list, so I wanted to lean towards Dragon Warrior, since I've never played it before.
Seriously, what an amazing game to have for $20 or less.
Yeah.
Just insane.
But if I'm being really honest, it's probably going to be Mario 3 or Twilight Princess on Wii.
Those are great choices.
Yeah.
Why Mario 3?
Personally, I think that this is the best old school Mario of all time.
It's a great choice.
Yeah.
What about this one?
And this is probably my favorite modern, like, 3D Zelda.
Even more than like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I liked the storyline and, like, the different characters that they brought in.
You liked it because it was dark, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little moody.
Tears of the Kingdom was a great game, but the intro to Breath of the Wild was like mind-blowing. The whole intro area, like, oh, here you go. You're gonna walk outside now. My favorite pickup amongst the whole Nintendo Quest was definitely Blaster Master. First of all, because the condition of this cartridge is just hilarious.
Yeah.
Right? I love that. It's not even a name, it's just YOTL. I don't know.
Well, what is this one?
Oh, that's it.
Is that boss? Oh my gosh, it's
Oh my
the
gosh.
one we were looking for.
Okay. Here, I'll stop. I didn't.
I saw this.
Blaster Master.
Blaster Master. I didn't even recognize that. Oh my
I
gosh.
thought it said baseball.
If it plays, then okay. I guess we're gonna pick up a few games today. But it also was one of the most nostalgic trips for me back to my childhood. I remember renting this game and playing it on Nintendo with friends and just being blown away that I can get out of the mech and then run as it was awesome. Just love this game. One of the most incredible openings to a game ever. Like, look at everywhere you can go. My gosh, it's still insane. So what was your least favorite game amongst all the ones we played in our Nintendo Quest?
That would be the RC Pro-Am.
Really? How come?
The controls for it, like, I've played racing games before, you know, I've played Mario Kart, I've played Mario Wipeout on, like, PlayStation. The controls were just, like, really touchy, like, you know, I barely touched the button and I'm, like, veering off track. So
They
like,
were real tight, yeah.
If the, you know, for me, if a game's controls, like, aren't approachable, I'm not gonna like it.
There's not much of a story in these. The main reason is because they're not RPGs. Zelda's not an RPG, people.
Only Zelda 2.
Only Zelda 2. It has character levels and stat progression. For me, the one that I was actually looking forward to playing, but after playing it, it's my least favorite of what we picked up. It would be Bionic Commando. It's crazy because the game has a huge fan base, but for me, I just wanted to jump. Just give me a jump, and I know it's the whole point is the grappling hook and all that, but I don't know. thinking back at it, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Hi, Fina.
Cat interference.
Gotcha. I know we have a bunch of Zeldas on our list already, but it's nice to put this one in the collection.
Yeah.
Alright, out of all these games, which would you think you're most likely to play again?
This might surprise some people. I think I want to play more Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. Simply because of the zapper features. Like, I like light gun games, and this has a light gun feature to it.
You know, playing it was really comfy. Like, the control scheme made sense, and being able to use the zapper is pretty cool in a good way.
Yeah, it made it more approachable for me. Absolutely.
For me, it would have to be Star Fox 64. Being a person that's not really a huge fan of the 64 anymore, I played it a lot as a kid, and I played it was probably one of my most played systems as a kid, but nowadays it's, most of the games, they just haven't aged well for me, but this game surprised me. This was super fun.
Yeah.
It controls well, it's fast, it just goes and goes and goes, like, I want to play more of this. I love that it throws you right in, like, just right into the combat. Die!
Is there friendly fire?
I don't know. We should try it. Falco, can I hit him? I hit him, but it didn't seem to bother him. He's still talking to me like he's my friend, so it must be okay.
He's not mad at you.
So what was the game, when we first made the list, you're like, oh man, I really want to play that game. What was your most anticipated to play?
Probably Dragon Warrior.
Dragon Warrior. You've played a ton of Dragon Quest games.
I've played Dragon Quest games. I haven't played them all. And I've never played the original on NES. Because I didn't have an NES growing up.
This game holds good memories in my mind about, like, going through, not realizing there was, like, a lantern, and then trying to go through the dungeon to find the key.
Yeah.
In the dark. You can only see, like, one square in front of you, but great game nonetheless. For me, the one I was most looking forward to, honestly, is Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
And I still want to play more of it.
Yeah, I hope we play through that, like, in a day.
It's like the only Resident Evil I haven't played through.
I've seen it played all the way through.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this one because of the zapper feature.
What did you like most about the quest in general?
Being able to dedicate time to playing a variety of games. Since I mainly play RPGs, this kind of forced me out of my wheelhouse to play some non-RPG games.
I like that, and playing the ones I've never played before.
Yeah.
And sampling them, and playing more than sampling. I know once I put Ninja Gaiden in, I just kept playing, and I almost beat the game. It took a while, but it's a great game, and it's super hard, but loved it. The other thing for me, I like checking games off a list. There's something visceral about, like, we found it, check, like...
Yeah, that's the kind of the dopamine effect that we get from, like, having a list compiled and checking it off and checking everything off.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of satisfaction there.
Absolutely. And lastly, the thrill of the hunt, right? Like, in conjunction with what you're saying, like, it was hard to find Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Like, that was the hardest game on Nintendo to find. It's not like it's a rare game. You could find it online easy, but we don't buy retro online. That's just generally not what we do. But we found it eventually, and when we did, we were so excited.
Yeah, the same thing with Blaster Master. We couldn't find that anywhere.
Yeah, and it was right in front of us with a bad label.
Yeah, like a clean copy's nowhere to be found. One random obscure beat-up copy was the only one in town.
I kind of like it a little more that way, though.
Yeah, it's got character.
Yeah. So what didn't you like about the Nintendo Quest? The suboptimals.
Having to pass on games that were overpriced, that are supposed to be, $20 and under. Yeah,
it's tough because when we made the list, we said, okay, we're going to use one source. We're going to use IGN. They made a top 100 list for every one of these consoles. We're going to take the top 10 from each of those consoles that cost $20 or less. And for some of those consoles, if you notice, like N64 has 3 games. I was like, and then GameCube has 3. Knowing that, we know that there are other games that are decent, but we had to stick to the list. And it has its disadvantages for sure. So we made this quest for YouTube, right? For us and for YouTube to share the cheap collecting journey or the budget collecting journey.
For the community.
For the community, yeah. So what did we learn? What did you learn from this quest?
Viewers may not know what the current value of games are.
It's really interesting.
So we've had a lot of suggestions of why didn't you get Double Dash? Well, Double Dash is like a $50 game
Right.
or higher, you
Why
know?
didn't you get Goldeneye? Well, same thing. It's like a $25, $30 game.
Yes.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, all these great games, and there's a good and a bad with that. The good is that we can show what the good, cheap stuff is. The bad is that when somebody goes to a store for the first time, not realizing what the market is nowadays, and they go, that's $30?
Why is that so much money?
$30? That's what this is for. This is exactly for that collector, that gamer that wants to go, I want to buy a game, oh my gosh, I just went to a store and everything's expensive. Well, hold on. We made a list that's alternatively cheaper.
Yes, all
And they're
these
great games.
games are fantastic, great games.
Absolutely. And they're $20 or less. So it was for that, even though that was a big disadvantage. A lot of times we're stuck on modern games and the newest and greatest thing, and we lose track of the backlog.
Now we're giving you an excuse to go play your backlog. Rip open those seals.
Even better.
Devalue your games. Unless they're GameStop new. Then they're
already devalued. For me, the thing I learned the most about this that I think we can share is that it's hard to explain what the quest is every single time.
Yes.
We made it too convoluted. Like, we picked this list from this, we used the top 100, we selected the top 10. Some of them didn't have 10. We had to go under $20 for complete in box. We didn't choose this because there's so much to explain that, like, we have to do it every time, and then people go, what is this about again?
Yeah.
It's about cheap Nintendo games, full stop. So, like, you know, we'll move and flex as you know, our channel goes on, and make sure not to make things so complicated.
Yeah, we'll try to simplify things, series as best we can.
Exactly.
Going forward.
Lastly, I think the other thing we learned is that while checklists are fun and they have that certain dopamine, like you were saying, it's challenging to stick just to a list.
Right.
And it's kind of limiting, honestly.
Yeah, when you might have a variety of things in front of you that would also meet the criteria, but you're trying to stick to the list.
And Caleb did this in his Switch collection, right? He got 60-75% through it and went, wait a minute, like, I have all these games left, but I might not find those, and there's these other great games I didn't put in there, so I'm just going to buy what I need.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, honestly, because it's about the good games.
Yeah.
So the list has its big disadvantages, for sure.
Because this is just, 49 games. Now 50.
Now 50.
But, we might find there's hundreds of games out there that can meet the criteria.
Hundreds, yeah, thousands. Absolutely. So, what are we going to do with the games now?
Well, we're going to put them on the shelf.
Yes, they go on our shelf. They're part of our collection.
And the cartridges go in the drawer.
Yes, with the cartridges. They're part of our collection. They're going to stay there. But we'll probably disassemble the shelf and put these on the shelf with the others because we have stuff we want to move around and stuff.
Yes, we have a very large item that has been wanting to come into the game room for about more than 6 months.
It might be close to a year now. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for all the feedback on the last game. Playing Breath of the Wild is always fun. You know, we considered, like, Breath of the Wild was the highest vote by a lot, right? And we considered, like, well, we wanted to pick something more retro, and
something to highlight that, like, maybe not everyone is familiar with.
Yeah, but then we realized, and of course, we've played Breath of the Wild all the way through on Switch, and it was great. So, and we realized, no, this quest isn't for us and what we want. It's for y'all. It's for everybody. And if we were to recommend a collection of affordable Nintendo games, Breath of the Wild's on the list. Yeah. There's no question. It has to be there, so it's a great 50th game to kind of solidify it. So what's next, now that our Nintendo Quest is over? Well, we've taken a lot of feedback, paid attention to what people like and what people don't like, and then learned from, the things we've learned from, and we have made a brand new quest, and we actually started it at the Game On Expo this year. Yes. So we're very excited to share it with y'all, and it's all about retro game collecting. Yes. And we hope you stay tuned for that. It's going to be very interactive as well. Our patrons are going to have a big part of this in addition to our viewers. So I'm really excited to share it. Stay tuned, but here's a little teaser for you. We still truly believe that you don't need to spend a lot of money to build an incredible physical video game collection. We proved it when we only spent under $800 for 50 amazing and highly rated Nintendo games.
How cheap would a collection of 100 retro video games be? And what if we focused on one of the best series of gaming consoles ever?
Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next quest. And until then, remember, the couple that plays together stays together. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.